Hello dear students, myself CMA Padmaja Buzruk. I will discuss accounting standards. Go to study note number 5, accounting standards. I will discuss illustrations of AS19. AS19 is on accounting for lease. We'll discuss illustration 22. Milind Sofex Limited has taken the asset on lease from ABC Impex Limited. The following information is given. Lease term is 4 years. Fair value at the inception of lease is rupees 16 lakhs. Lease rent rupees 5 lakhs per annum at the end of the year. Guaranteed residual value is rupees 1 lakh. Expected residual value is rupees 2 lakhs. Implicit interest rate is 14.97%. Do the accounting in the books of leasee. At the beginning of lease term, present value of MLP covers substantially the initial fair value of the leased asset, which is 16 lakhs. So it is finance lease. Accounting for finance lease in the books of leasee. Leased asset as well as liability for lease should be recognized at lower of fair value at the leased assets at the inception of lease, which is 16 lakh, or present value of MLP from leasee point of view. So we'll find out present value of MLP, compare it with 16 lakhs, and the lower of the two will be taken as value of the lease for accounting purpose in the books of leasee. Present value of MLP, minimum lease payment. First year, second year, third year and fourth year end, he is supposed to pay 5 lakhs rupees as lease rent, but at the end of the fourth year, 5 lakhs plus 1 lakh, which is residual value, 6 lakhs is supposed to be paid. So total of MLP is 21 lakhs. We'll find out present value of MLP. Implicit interest rate is 14.97%. So we'll find out discount rate. For first year end it is 1 divided by 1.1497 because discount rate is 14.97%. At the end of second year, the discount rate will be 0.8698, that is the discounting rate at the end of first year divided by 1.1497. Continue doing this, find out discounting rate for third and fourth year, then find out present value. 5 lakhs into discounting rate is present value, 5 lakhs into discounting rate for the second year is present value, 5 lakhs into discounting rate for the third year is present value for the third year, and 6 lakhs including residual value multiplied by discount rate at the end of fourth year will be present value at the end of fourth year. Add all the present values. Total is 14,85,590. Present value of minimum lease payment 14,85,590 is less than the fair value at the inception of lease, which is 16 lakhs. So the leased assets and liability should be recognized at 14,85,590 in the books of leasee. Apportionment of finance lease. So each year he is supposed to pay lease rent 5 lakhs. You are supposed to calculate interest part and principal amount of 5 lakhs. Now 1485 590, just now we have calculated the amount which he is supposed to consider in his books. Rate of interest is 14.97%. So 1485 590 into 14.97% is interest, which is 2,22,393. Installment is of 5 lakhs. 5 lakhs minus interest will be principal amount 2,77,607. So for the first year, these are the interest charges 222,393 and principal amount is 277,607. Now from 1485 590, if you deduct 277,607, you will get 12,07,983. Calculate interest on that at 14.97%. 5 lakhs minus interest will be principal. Deduct this principal from 12,07,983. You will get 888,818. That is 8,88,818. On that, work out 14.97%. You will get interest. 5 lakhs minus interest will be principal amount. Deduct this principal amount from 8,88,818. You will get 521,874. On that, 14.97% is to be worked out, which is interest 78,125. Last year's installment including residual value is 6 lakhs. 6 lakhs minus 78,125 is principal amount, which is 521,875. Now if you add MLPs, you will get 21 lakhs. If you add interest charges, you will get total interest 6,14,409. If you add principal amount total, you will get 14,85,591, which is equal to present values of MLP, which we have just now calculated. If you add principal plus interest, you will get, that is total interest plus total principal, you will get MLP, which is 21 lakhs. Lease rent account. This is in the books of Leasy, books of Milind Sofex Limited, lease rent account. First year, lease rent to bank 5 lakhs. Out of this, 2,22,393 is interest. So by finance charges, by lease liability. Principal amount will get transferred to lease liability. Second year, to bank 5 lakh. By finance charges, by lease liability. Interest will be transferred to finance charges and principal amount will transfer to lease liability account. This is how you are supposed to do the accounting for all the 4 years. Lease liability account. Entry in the books of leasee will be lease asset to lease liability. So first year, by lease asset 14,85,590. See here, in lease rent account, finance charges and lease liability, principal amount will get transferred to lease liability. So in lease liability account, you will get this principal amount 277,607, balance carried down, balance brought down in the second year. Second year's principal amount 319,165 to lease rent account, balance carried down, balance brought down. Third year, principal amount is 366,944 to lease rent account, and last year principal amount is 521,874. So this is the fourth year. Lease liability account will get closed. Extract of profit and loss account. First year, to finance charges, that is profit and loss account debit to interest and to depreciation. Depreciation life of the lease is 4 years, so it is to be spread over 4 years. 1485 590 divided by 4 will be depreciation. So every year same entry will be passed, depreciation amount will be same, but interest charges will be different. That is the extract of profit and loss account. Extract of balance sheet. Leasee will show this as asset as well as liability. So fixed assets 1485,590 minus depreciation. This he will show at the end of first year on asset side. Second year, as 1485,590 is taken, you are supposed to deduct depreciation for the 2 years, cumulative depreciation. Third year, same 1485,590 minus 3 years depreciation, and last year entire amount will get deducted. 371,397 into 4 will be 4 years depreciation, so balance is nil. This is to be shown on the asset side. On liability side, you are supposed to show the outstanding balance. Lease liability account, just now we have seen outstanding balance at the end of first year was 12,07,983, then 8,88,818, and so on. 12 lakh 7,983, 8 lakh 88,818, and so on. This is how it is to be done in the books of leasing. Now we'll see illustration 23rd. Milind Sofex Limited has taken the asset on lease from ABC Impex Limited. The following information is given. Lease term 4 years, fair value at the inception of lease 16 lakhs, lease rent 5 lakhs per annum at the end of year, guaranteed residual value 1 lakh, expected residual value 2 lakhs, implicit interest rate 14.97%. How the accounting is done in the books of lessor. Now you are supposed to do accounting in the books of lessor. Same question. Guaranteed residual value is 1 lakh. Expected residual value is 2 lakhs. So unguaranteed residual value is 2 lakhs minus 1 lakhs, which is equal to 1 lakh. Unguaranteed residual value is equal to residual value minus guaranteed residual value. This is to be considered in the books of lessor. Lessor should recognize the asset given under lease at net investment in lease. Net investment in lease equal to present value of gross investments. Net investment in lease, gross investment minus unearned finance income. Gross investment MLP plus guaranteed residual value plus unguaranteed residual value. MLP is 20 lakhs. Why? Because 5 lakhs installment at the end of each year into 4 years, 20 lakhs. Guaranteed residual value is 1 lakh, unguaranteed residual value is 1 lakh. So gross investment is 22 lakhs. Unearned finance income is equal to gross investment minus present value of gross investment. Now first year, second year, third year, fourth year, these are the installment amounts. At the end of first year 5 lakhs, second year 5 lakh, third year 5 lakh, fourth year 7 lakhs, because 5 lakhs plus 1 lakh residual value, that is guaranteed residual value, plus 1 lakh unguaranteed residual value. Discounting factors we have already seen. So 5 lakhs into first year's discounting factors will be present value of first year. Keep on doing it for all the 4 years. You will get total present value, which is 15 lakhs 42,830. Unearned finance income is 22 lakhs gross investment minus present value of gross investment, which is 15 lakhs 42,830. Unearned finance income 6 lakhs 57,170. Now 15 lakh 42,830, just now we have calculated. Present value of MLP is net investment, and that is to be considered as value of the leased assets in the books of lessor. On this 14.97% will be the interest. 5 lakhs minus interest will be principal amount. Whatever is the principal amount, deduct it from 1542,830. On resulting figure, work out 14.97%. That will be the interest. 5 lakh minus interest will be principal amount. Deduct principal amount from the balance of lease receivable. On that, work out 14.97% as interest. 5 lakhs minus interest will be principal amount. Deduct it from the balance of lease receivable. On that, work out 14.97%, that is interest. 7 lakh minus interest will be principal amount. This is the total interest and this is the total principal amount. The lease receivable account shown in the books of lessor will not tally with the lease liability account as shown by the lessee in his books. Difference will remain because of guaranteed residual value from the third party and or unguaranteed residual value from the lessee point of view. Now in the books of lessor, he will record this as receivables. 15 lakhs 42,830, he will show it as receivables. So he will pass journal entry receivables account debit to asset sold on lease. And from the receivables, he will keep on deducting Receivables will be shown on the asset side of the balance sheet, and from that every year he will keep on deducting the principal amount. So at the end of the fourth year, receivables will become nil, and interest charges he will credit it to profit and loss account because it is his income. Illustration 24. Amit purchased a computer for 44,000 and leased out it to Sumit for 4 years on lease basis. After the lease period, value of computer was estimated to be 3,000, which he realized after selling it in the second hand market. So Amit sold the computer at rupees 3,000 in the second hand market after 4 years. So this is operating lease. Lease amount payable at the beginning of each year is 22,000, 13,640, 6,820 and 3,410. You are required to pass necessary journal entries in the books of both Amit and Sumit. So first see the computer account. In the books of Amit, he has purchased computer to bank 44,000 by depreciation at 40%, by balance carried down, same balance to be brought down in the second year by depreciation 40% of 26,400, balance carried down, third year balance brought down, depreciation will be 40% of opening balance by depreciation, by balance carried down is 9504, same balance will be brought forward, to balance brought down by depreciation, this is fourth year's depreciation, he has sold it for 3,000. So difference will be transferred to profit and loss account 2702. In the books of Amit, first year computer to bank, purchase of computer, bank to lease rent, he has received lease rent, depreciation to computer, just now we have seen calculation of depreciation for all the 4 years, and depreciation and lease rent to be transferred to profit and loss account. Profit and loss account debit to depreciation and lease rent to profit and loss account. Second year again bank to lease rent, depreciation to computer, profit and loss to depreciation and lease rent to profit and loss account. Same entries will get repeated. We'll see the entries for the fourth year: bank to lease rent, depreciation to computer, profit and loss to depreciation, lease rent to profit and loss account. And these are the additional entries: bank account debit 3,000, loss on sale of account debit 2702 to computer account 5702. Just now we have seen the computer account. So this 2702 is balancing figure which will get transferred to profit and loss account, which is loss on sale of computer. Now in the books of Sumit, he will pass same entries. Only first year's entry I have shown you. Lease rent account debit 22,000 to bank and profit and loss to lease rent 22,000. For second year, third year and fourth year, entry will be same, only amount will change. Take the amount of lease rent. Now we'll see IND AS 17, Indian Accounting Standard 17 is on leases. Objective. The objective of this standard is to prescribe for lessee and lessor the appropriate accounting policies and disclosure to apply in relation to leases. Scope. This standard shall be applied in accounting for all leases other than lease to explore for or use minerals, oil, natural gas, and similar non-regenerative resources, and licensing agreements for such items as motion picture films, video recording, plays, manuscripts, patents, copyrights. So this standard is not applicable on natural resources as well as licensing agreements. Definitions: a lease is an agreement whereby the lessor conveys to the lessee in return for a payment or series of payments the right to use an asset for an agreed period of time. A finance lease is a lease that transfers substantially all the risks and rewards incidental to ownership of an asset. Title may or may not eventually be transferred. An operating lease is a lease other than finance lease. A non-cancelable lease is a lease that is cancelled only upon the occurrence of some remote contingency with the permission of lessor if the lessee enters into new lease for the same or an equivalent asset with the same lessor, or upon payment by the lessee of such an additional amount that at inception of the lease continuation of lease is reasonably certain. So non-cancelable lease is cancels only because of the following four circumstances. Minimum lease payment are the payments over the lease term that the lessee is or can be required to make, excluding contingent rent, cost for services and taxes to be paid by and reimbursed to lessor together with, for a lessee, any amount guaranteed by lessee or by a party related to lessee, or for lessor any residual guaranteed value guaranteed to the lessor by lessee or a party related to lessee or third party unrelated to lessor that is financially capable of discharging the obligations under the guarantee. Economic life is either the period over which an asset is expected to be economically usable by one or more users, or the number of production or similar units expected to be obtained from the asset by one or more users. So economic life is expressed in number of years as well as production units the asset is supposed to produce during its lifetime. Useful life is the estimated remaining period from the commencement of the lease term without limitation by the lease term over which the economic benefit embodied in the asset are expected to be consumed by the entity. Guaranteed residual value is, for lessee, that part of residual value that is guaranteed by lessee or by a party related to lessee, the amount of guarantee being the maximum amount that could in any event becomes payable, and for lessor that part of residual value that is guaranteed by lessee or by a third party unrelated to the lessor that is financially capable of discharging the obligations under the guarantee. Unguaranteed residual value is that portion of residual value of the leased assets, the realization of which by the lessor is not assured or is guaranteed solely by a party related to the lessor. So, unguaranteed residual value is residual value minus guaranteed residual value. Initial direct costs are incremental costs that are directly attributable to negotiating and arranging a lease, except for such costs incurred by manufacturer or dealer lessor. Gross investment in the lease is aggregate of minimum lease payment receivable by lessor under finance lease and any unguaranteed residual value accruing to the lessor. Net investment in lease is the gross investment in the lease discounted at the interest rate implicit in the lease. So net investment is nothing but present value of gross investment. Unearned finance income is the difference between gross investment in the lease and net investment in the lease. So gross investment minus net investment is unearned finance income, and net investment is present value of gross investment. Contingent rent is that portion of lease payment that is not fixed in amount but it is based on future amount of a factor that changes other than with the passage of time, for example, percentage of future sales, amount of future use, future price indices, future market rate of interest, etc. So contingent rent is a rent which is not fixed, which fluctuates, which changes, which depends upon percentage of sales, use, future market rate, etc. Classification of lease. A lease is classified as finance lease if it transfers substantially all the risks and rewards incidental to ownership. A lease is classified as operating lease if it does not transfer substantially all the risk and rewards incidental to ownership. The interest rate implicit in the lease is the discount rate that at the inception of lease causes the aggregate present value of the minimum lease payment and the unguaranteed residual value to be equal to the sum of the fair value of the leased asset and any initial direct cost of the lessor. Now we'll see comparison between IND AS 17 and AS 19. In case of lease, that is as per IND AS 17, lease is recognized as operating or finance lease as per the definition and classification criteria. As per this standard, land has a definite economic life period. So as per IND AS 17, land is not excluded as lease asset. As per AS 19, land is recorded and classified as fixed asset. Land is excluded, it is not considered as leased asset as per AS 19. Incentives of operating lease is to be recognized both by the lessor and lessee as reduction of rental income and expenditure over the lease term. It is to be recognized on a straight line basis unless another basis is more representative of time pattern. So as per IND AS 17, if there are any incentives, that is if there is any reduction in the rental payment, so it is to be shown as reduction in income for lessor and reduction is expenditure for lessee over the lease term, and it can be recognized on straight line basis. But as per AS 19, there is no such matter. In case of finance lease, the initial direct costs are to be included in the measurement of finance lease receivable and the amount of income is reduced. It is to be recognized over the lease term. Initial lease cost recognized by manufacturer or dealer lessor are to be recognized as expenditure when profit on sale is recognized. So as per IND AS 17, in case of finance lease, if there are initial direct costs, they are to be included in the receivables, and initial direct cost recognized by manufacturer or dealer lessor, it is to be recognized as expenditure when the profit on sale is recognized. So at the time of recognition of profit on sale, that time only the expenditure is to be recognized for manufacturer and dealer lessor. As per AS 19, finance lease related initial direct costs are recognized immediately in the statement of profit and loss or allocated against the finance income over lease term. So as per AS 19, it is immediately recognized in profit and loss account. And for the manufacturer and dealer lessor, it is an expenditure at the inception. They will show it as expenditure at the inception. Now in the AS 17, if in case of operating lease, the initial direct costs are to be added to the carrying amount of asset and recognized as expenditure over the lease term on the basis as in case of lease income. Whereas in AS 19, for operating lease, related initial direct costs are deferred and allocated to the income over the lease term in proportion of lease income, or it is recognized as expenditure in the statement of profit and loss in the period of occurrence. So either of the treatments can be done. Either it is recognized as expenditure in the profit and loss account, or it can be deferred and allocated to the income over the lease term. As per IND AS 17, arrangements which do not take any legal form but fulfillment of which is dependent on the use of any specific asset and it convey the right to use the asset is to be accounted for as lease. So even if there is no legal form, it is to be considered as lease, it is to be accounted for as lease. Substance over form is used as per IND AS 17. As per AS 19, there is no such guideline. Payment under any such arrangement are to be recognized in accordance with the nature of expenditure incurred. In this particular video, we have seen illustrations of AS19, IND AS17 and comparison between AS19 and IND AS17. Thank you.